I'd like to call the City of Apache Junction Council meeting of September 19th, 2023 to order and ask everyone to put their cell phones on silent. I'll have invocation be led by Councilmember Peter Heck and pledged by Vice Mayor Schroeder.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of being able to gather together this evening to discuss city business. We ask that you give the staff and council wisdom and clarity in its decision-making. We ask you to watch over those individuals who have had to endure the extreme weather events that have occurred around the country. Please keep them safe. We ask you to watch over the men and women who serve in our military the world over. Please keep them safe as well. We ask also for your blessing on our first responders, including our police and fire departments, along with our EMS personnel. Please keep these brave men and women safe in their duties to protect and care for the residents of this city. Thank you for the honor and privilege we have to serve the residents of this great city. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Wilson,
Here.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Present.
Councilmember Cross,
Here.
Councilmember Heck,
Here.
Councilmember Nesser,
Present.
Councilmember Soller.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Consent agenda. As a reminder, all items under consent agenda will be approved with one motion. If a council member wishes to remove an item for further discussion, the request must be made prior to approving a consent agenda and moved into new business.
Your Honor,
Yes?
I would like to have item number 5 pulled and discussed.
Okay, that'll go on into new business.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion for the rest of them?
Your Honor,
Yes.
so moved.
Second.
Seconded. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Soller,
Yes.
Councilmember Cross,
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, awards and presentation. We have one proclamation and an award. Liz?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Liz Lingenbach, Parks and Recreation Director for the City of AJ. I'm just going to load up my thing here. Give me one quick second. Thank you for letting us join you today. Thank you. All right. So tonight, it is my honor to share a little bit about Matt King as we recognize him tonight for 25 years of service. Matt was hired in 1998 when he was 18 years old. That's real. He was hired first as our Parks Worker 1, and he has moved up over the years with us over these last 25 years. He has always been fun and willing to help promote parks as well as whatever the mission of the city is. In some of these photos here, he's distributing ice cream during our American Chocolate Week as we promoted some different activities in the park. Anything from that to taking around the city's mascot, Dutch. So several years ago, Dutch was a dog that would visit each department and then they would get tons of pictures with them, and then we would share those out with the city to kind of share a little bit about what different departments did throughout the city. And so here Dutch got to join Matt and some of the team in prepping ball fields. Matt has always been a great team player, definitely very involved in our department over all of these years. He's moved up multiple times through the city, and he is currently in the position as Parks Maintenance Supervisor, which he has been for the last 4 years. Because our parks guys typically don't like to be photographed very much, I don't have a ton of photos of just Matt, but I have a whole bunch of him here with our team. Like I said, he's a major team player and always participated in this. But I would hope that you would maybe just indulge me a little tonight, as instead of showing a bunch of photos of Matt, I would like to just show you some of the things, the most important things that he does for our city. As the maintenance supervisor, he is responsible for some of our major and signature parks and facilities throughout the city. He is the supervisor of the North Team, and so I'm going to just take you through a couple of his beautiful facilities and just kind of the impact that he puts onto our city. Prospector Park, as you all know, 40 developed acres of land. These are some of the best sports fields in all of the area. So we have people, I have directors that will come and play in an over-the-line tournament texting me saying, I can't believe I'm in the desert, or I'm out here, in Apache Junction. These fields are beautiful, and great tribute to Matt and his team and the hard work that they do. Prospector Park has gone through a ton of changes over his time. He's been here through many of the different phases that have been developed at Prospector Park, and the improvements as they've gone. These past years, he's had the opportunity to introduce a whole lot of new improvements, such as brand new playgrounds, replacing all of our fencing. This year, he will be helping take the lead on our LED light transformation of our first two fields, and making those so that they are dark sky friendly this year. So he has a major hand in a lot of those different things. I found this photo of when our guys were putting in the pavers that were there at Prospector Park. And so just a ton of great things as I look through that Matt has been a part of. The rodeo grounds, so this is a photo of the rodeo grounds many, many years ago, and before Matt's time, but he's been here through much of the changes that have happened at the rodeo grounds, and this is a facility that he takes a lot of pride in, and he is instrumental to the success of many events out at this facility. So he has been very involved in all of the stages as we have developed this facility. As you saw, it was just the grandstands, which is this little piece right here, was the only thing at that time. Since then, the addition of our stadium, bleachers, restrooms, and then a ton of growth out here of just making it a beautiful facility. He will also be very involved in our next stage, which, as you all know, is after purchasing the rodeo grounds, being able to bring a ton of other improvements and getting that area ready to be a really fantastic rodeo event center. And I'm super happy to have Matt part of that, that transition as well. This is home to Lost Dutchman Marathon and, Lost Dutchman Days and our Mud Run. So a couple of really major events that Matt is the leader in. So in addition to doing parks maintenance and making sure that we have beautiful facilities, he's very involved in many of our major special events. The other facility that is under his leadership is the City Hall complex. And so part of that is here at City Hall, all of the landscaping that is here, as well as the library, the Veterans Memorial Park, which is fantastically taken care of and manicured, the police department front entrance, and then as well as the city complex park and playground. And then finally, our favorite, the multi-generational center, in charge of all of that landscaping, but as well as that, he and his team are also responsible for about 90% of the building maintenance that happens in the multi-generational center, so that we would have hands-on park support for our public and our everyday use. Additionally, under his leadership is Silly Mountain Park. So they manage the trailheads and the botanical walk, and then partner with different volunteers and contractors to do some of the work that is in Silly Mountain. This last year and a half has seen a lot of improvements there. So a new ramada, new restroom facility, as well as a fence project that Matt is wrapping up right now. In addition to Silly Mountain, so we do have our multi-use trail system and open space. So there's a lot of different things that go on there. This is actually a resident had shared with us about some saguaros that were being harvested and that somebody was trying to steal them. We were able to get our crew out and have them replanted in this area. And as you can see here, so this is while Matt's supervisor of our team. He never shies away from getting dirty or getting out there and helping the crew in pretty much every single project that they do. Finally, I'd like to say, so Matt is a fabulous employee and a really great friend to me and to many people in our department, but I think the other important part about Matt is that he is an amazing dad and husband. He brought Mikey, his wife, here today to join him in today, and unfortunately, his daughters couldn't be with us today. They have softball and other activities that are going on, but they are one of the most important things to Matt, and I think that's really special about him. His girls typically join us for the annual Lost Dutchman Days Parade. They're usually part of our float participants, and they're definitely a major part of his life, and we're so happy that they share him with us. Finally, and Mikey probably won't appreciate this, but his wife, Mikey, actually worked for us in the recreation side of things, and so I was going through photos, and I came across this one, and I couldn't resist adding it to Matt's celebration video, and I hope that they don't mind, but Mikey was on our recreation side working part-time. Here she's helping to coach our all-star team with our beloved Jeff Bell, former Parks and Rec director. I like to think that we take credit for them being together today. They were dated in their early years, and many of us were able to join them at their wedding ceremony, and so I'm really happy that she was able to be here to join in us celebrating Matt. And then finally, this is my last little photo I just wanted to share. I don't remember why it was getting prepped or whatever, but Matt sent me this photo, a text message of this photo, and this just kind of sums up Matt thinking about, making things special, going the extra mile for things that we do here in Apache Junction for our residents, for staff, and really taking a lot of pride in our community, and that's what we love about him. Anytime that recreation or management has requests, Matt definitely has a lot of questions and a lot of how we're going to make it work, but he is always willing to chip in and also do things that just are above and beyond. Everything from drive-through graduation during pandemic, making sure that this facility is what we needed to have that, to finding 200 or more extra parking spaces for Lost Dutchman Days, to making our rodeo grounds something special that is emblematic of our community. And so I'm very happy to be recognizing Matt, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to Matt for his years of service, and we are going to bring him up here in a second, but I'd like to turn it over to Bryant first, and he has a few things to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, and just wanted to add a couple more fun things about Matt. But before I do that, isn't it neat to see his wife and in this type of scenario? It tells a little bit about their family, values, and then also the culture that's at the Parks Department. It's just amazing to me every time I see these types of presentations, how much they care for one another. It leads to this type of quality of work. Matt also is the quality of guy that when things go to bonkers, 90-mile-an-hour windstorms, rainstorms that are hit, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh my gosh, we got so many trees down at Prospector, or so many, impact, or something broke into something, right, Matt? Those two come up, and he has to, and those things we just don't see. They're not the pretty pictures, but he and his team will get right on it. We just had a situation this last month or so, and I think they were up that next morning by 5 a.m., and it was, the channel news teams were up. There's no more nothing to show, because his team and the professional work, because he gets it done. And so he is just a get-it-done person, and we're so grateful. 25 years is a big, big day, and a big day. So we celebrate him. Matt, come on up. As is our wonderful tradition in the city of Apache Junction. First and foremost, this is just small tokens, Matt, so I hope you have. Yeah, just know how much we appreciate. 40 hours of paid time off. Awesome. We know 400 would be better, but this is what we could do. There is a wonderful statement here of that I'll read. It's just a congratulation of 25 years of service and working on some more emblematic effort, but to get him. But we're going to do something new today from Matt, as a Matt King Road. And so, show you first on that. Yeah. Go show that all over the council, Matt King Road. This guy's been a part of so much growth and change in our community, and it's the minimal we could do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Please join me in giving him a big hand. Yeah, you want to, yeah, he wants to, yeah.
Liz, thank you, appreciate it. Council, thank you. I just want to thank, I started this job when I was 18. I want to thank Jeff Pill for giving me an opportunity. I want to thank Liz Langenbach for trusting in me. I want to thank my team. I couldn't be here without my crew, and I want to thank my smoking hot wife for everything that she does.
Smart man.
Thank you. I appreciate everything.
Hey, Matt. I'd like to congratulate you on 25 years. That's very impressive. But what's more impressive, no matter how high you came up in the ranks, you never asked anybody to do something that you weren't willing to do yourself.
Yeah.
And that is a trait that we need desperately all over. Congratulations,
I agree.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Wonder how many people we have here on Apache Junction, like Parks and
Good job.
They started out when they were 18. He's not the only one.
No.
Probably
Liz, you're going to take your team and get some photos, right? Special time, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, I have a proclamation now to read. Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Ovarian cancer is the 5th leading cause of cancer death of women in the United States. And whereas the American Cancer Society estimates that in 2023, over 19,710 women will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and approximately 13,270 will perish from this disease. And whereas in the United States, a woman's lifetime risk of being diagnosed with ovarian cancer is about 1 in 78, and whereas the 5-year survival rate for ovarian cancer is 50%, and survival rates vary greatly depending on the stage of the diagnosis, and whereas there is not currently an effective diagnostic team for screening and early detection does not exist. And now, therefore, I, Chip Wilson, Mayor, City of Apache Junction, do hereby proclaim the month of September as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. And there's a personal note on the aspect on that, as one of the things I wanted to be up, because it has affected my family as well. Thank you. Okay. Regional intergovernment updates. Anyone have anything? Yes.
Your Honor, I had the a Monday a week ago, I had the privilege of attending a 9/11 memorial service at the Avalon School. It was a wonderful event. Those students and the faculty put on the event, and they did a wonderful job. They recognized the Apache Junction Police Department, Superstition Fire Medical District, Pinal County Sheriff's Office, and the VFWs. It's wonderful to note that students at that age who were not anywhere near being around on 9/11 in 2001 are still, they're keeping that alive, that they're not forgetting. They did a beautiful mural, or a banner, I should say. And I am so grateful to the students and the faculty there that they helped us to remember 9/11. And then one other thing, I know Liz had mentioned about the purchase of the rodeo grounds, and we do have a special event coming up in the near future that will kind of be the signature transition for us. And it's going to be an exciting time in Apache Junction. I'm thrilled to be a part of that. So, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone over here? No, sir. Okay, well, I have one thing I wanted to bring up. Today, we had a meeting and also a tour of some of the progressing building structures and everything that is ongoing at the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. They're showing some of the terminals. They're now expanding it to 10 gates. Gulfstream is heavily, I'm gonna say, involved in some of the expansions that they're doing. They are working with the Chandler Gilbert Community College and the EVIT for some training of, I'm gonna call them aircraft mechanics, where they get their A&P license, so that they were able to work on it. There's 2 additional companies that have already started in work, but part of them, they're still under construction, some of the additional hangars. That is going to be benefiting from this as well. The Boyer Gateway East LC just signed a contract with the Gateway Facilities for building some buildings on the east side. And one of them is X Energy. Is a system for building systems for climate control for homes and buildings and offices. They're coming in and they're moving their headquarters out here, and they're going to be basically, once they get up in full operation, and they expect to start operation here really shortly after the first of the year, they're expecting to be able to be hiring over 1,200 people. So it's an opportunity to see what's going on out there and what the future is for, I'm going to say, additional employment. And we're right on the cuff bed, so right next door to provide some of the homes for people to live in that area. Okay. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bryant Powell, City Manager. Tonight I have a couple items to report. I'm very happy to share with the community that one of our very important local nonprofits is working in conjunction with the Apache Junction Police Department and with Pinal County Attorney's Office to help raise awareness about domestic violence in our local community. And we want to share that by attending this event, you'll be standing up for survivors of abuse, showing them that domestic violence is never okay. As part of the event, Chief Pooley, our very own Chief Pooley, will be speaking, and the event itself is free. However, if you want to register and provide a support to the effort, you can get a sign up, get some official swag, and a free t-shirt for $30. The event is Saturday, September 30th, from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Prospector Park. And it's an awareness walk, 5K, trail walk, and family day up there at Prospector. We have adopted this month as Domestic Violence Awareness Month over the many years here. And we're going to paint or not paint the town purple, but we'll have our City Hall purple and other areas, monuments purple, in remembrance. The other item I want to share with the community is something I'm really happy to share that our city clerk is doing this year. It's a council candidate orientation. It's an opportunity to learn how to run for office. And it's coming up Wednesday, October 18th at 6:30 here in the council chambers. My understanding, it is recorded, right, Jennifer? And we'll have it there for those who want to learn. And that concludes my part of the report, and we'll turn it over to Al.
Good evening. Al Bravo, Public Information Officer for the City of Apache Junction. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. A couple of announcements to be aware of this evening. The first is a little summary of the meeting that was held excuse me, at the Multi-Generational Center last Thursday night. ADOT and its consultant held an open house and a presentation for what we refer to for the most part as the North-South Corridor proposed project, which would connect Apache Junction and US 60 with I-10 from what we will now just term Mountain View Road to Eloy. It is a long-time proposed project that still is probably, as you well know, at least 10 or 15 years off into the future, but you have to start planning really early on. So the Arizona Department of Transportation is in the middle of the first phase of studies on the proposed road, and I hesitate to call it a freeway because I think some people, just assume it's going to be some big, huge road. It might just start out as something a little more modest than that. But the first segment, of course, that we talk about a lot is that segment from Mountain View Road to Arizona Farms Road, which is kind of in the middle of that map, just a little off of Florence there. That goes through the city and through the area that is all state land. Just east of Queen Creek and just east of Superstition Vistas, along that corridor that you can see on the map there. Could connect with State Route 24 at some point. Very good session for folks to get a little more education, a little more information on the plans. This is a project that is not funded right now and is not on the books yet. With the Arizona Department of Transportation, but obviously, like I said, you do have to plan quite a bit ahead to even get to that point. So that was probably the biggest takeaway from that particular meeting, which was last week. So you can also watch for that on our homepage. There's still some time that you can weigh in on that particular project. Did you want to say something, Mayor?
I was going to say, first off, there is some, opportunity to make comments concerning it. And what this was basically, in a sense, announcing that they're going to be narrowing the I'm going to say, right-of-way down to I've forgotten now. What was it, 600 foot wide? 400, okay, thank you. 400 foot wide area, so they're pinpointing exactly where the road's going to be. And it is something that you got to go through a series of say, public inputs, and this is the first one, and they got one more coming up in the future, sometime in the near future.
Exactly. So you can go to the homepage. I have a story on the city's homepage at apachejunctionaz.gov on the whole project, the meeting that just was held, and your opportunities to weigh in on the proposal as well as it goes through the next phase. Speaking of road issues, there is a road closure that everyone should be aware of. If you do use US 60 in that area, they are actually going to close US 60 overnight, Thursday night this week, September 21st, right around Mountain View Road. This was a scheduled closure that was supposed to take place on August 31st, but that was the night we had big storms, so the project had to be rescheduled. It is now scheduled for the 21st. It's an overnight closure, so you can see it's from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. They're working on the sign overhead, and of course there is a detour. Again, you can go to the homepage. I have a story on that as well to make sure anybody who uses that road late at night or early in the morning knows which way to go to get around the closure. This is my chance now to also do something a little self-serving, if you will, because of course this is one of my great initiatives that I get to work on every year, and that is Citizen Leadership Institute. So every year from January to April, we have an 8-session course where folks in the community can come in and really learn about Apache Junction and municipal government in general and all the different departments, and it's a great primer for people who want to get to know the city, who want to get to know the community, who want to give back to the community. A lot of folks can learn about serving their community in different ways, whether it's on boards and commissions and nonprofits or in different areas of the city. They learn all about that during CLI. So CLI this year will start on January the 10th, 2024. So I guess I have to update that slide there. And if you go to apachejunctionaz.gov/CLI, you can find all the information, and you can also register. You can always call my office at 480-474-5080, and I will tell you everything you need to know to be part of the next class. So I always remind everybody, make sure you go to the website, go to apachejunctionaz.gov/newsletter, and you can see everything. Every Thursday we update all the cool things going on in the city right there. And there's your Updates for tonight, September 19th, 2023.
Thank you. Okay, public hearings. Consideration for an application for a Series 12 restaurant liquor license at Papa Bear's Barbecue. Jennifer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, Council. Before you tonight is a Series 12 restaurant liquor license submitted by Michael Murray, with Papa Bear's Barbecue located at 1200 West Apache Trail. The city received the application on August 14th. The building was posted in accordance with state law announcing tonight's public hearing. The city has received no written or verbal comments from the public regarding this application at this time. Correspondence related to the inspection of the premises for safety code-compliant matters has been received from the Apache Junction Police Department, Building and Safety Division, Planning and Zoning Department, and Superstition Fire and Medical. Mr. Esquivias did note that the building was completely remodeled and brought up to code by the previous owners, and there are no changes proposed by the new owner at this time other than the addition of an outdoor smoker. All four entities, therefore, are recommending that council recommends approval. The applicant is present tonight if you have any questions.
Does the applicant want to speak? Any discussion among council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I've eaten there. It's delicious. So glad to have you.
I agree too. It's very good.
Ready for a motion?
Yeah. You ready for a motion?
Uh,
Oh, wait a minute, I gotta do this
Public
public hearing. Does anyone like to speak on this item? Other than what the council said? No, I guess not, okay. I will now close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Mayor, I move that the application for a Series 12 restaurant liquor license submitted by Papa Bear's Barbecue located at 1200 West Apache Trail be recommended for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch who did a second.
Oh, not me.
Second.
I did the,
Thank you. Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Soller,
yes.
Councilmember Cross,
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes, Your Honor.
Okay. Old business, none at this time. New business, we have the item from consent agenda number 5, consideration for approval on agreement with the, whoops, wrong one. Is it 5?
Number 5.
Number
Yeah,
5,
okay.
that was right.
Fire, security, electronics,
No, no.
communication.
No.
It's the
It's MR10, sidewalks.
Oh, different than what's written down here. Okay, consideration and approval for entering into a contract with MR Tanner Constructions for the retrofit of 38 sidewalk ramps along Broadway Avenue. You wanted to bring this up, so what's your questions?
Well, Ted's coming up.
Yep, I know.
So, I know recently we had some concerns and some issues with a contractor that's providing sidewalk and curbing along Idaho from Superstition to Lost Dutchman. And I want some assurance in whether or not this contractor that we've potentially going to be hiring is a good contractor. Have they done work for the city before? Have we had any issues with the work that they've done in the past? And, you know, are they capable of manning the job? It seems like the company that was doing this other project didn't have the manpower or had mismanaged the manpower and kind of dropped the ball. So any enlightenment, please?
Sure. Ted Wolf, Public Works Director here at the City of Apache Junction. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Regarding MR Tanner, they are a well-known contractor here in the Valley. They do a lot of concrete work specifically. They also pave, but they focus on concrete. They work for the City of Apache Junction, I'm pretty sure. several times in the past. To my knowledge, I haven't had any issues, both with the city of Apache Junction or any other entities that have hired them as their contractor. The idea is to replace 38 sidewalk ramps, make them ADA compliant on Broadway from Ironwood to, I believe, Lawson. It's an advance of a paving project for those same paving limits, and that'll be the subsequent year. So we're just getting the ramps ready to make them compliant so we can get the federal funding to pave the road. So that's the project. It's a two-phase project, if you will. But no, we haven't had any problems with them. And to my knowledge, that we shouldn't have any problems with them.
Very good, thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Okay, should we have a motion now on that?
Yeah,
If you're ready.
I'm ready. Your Honor, I move that the Tanner Construction for, or how do we want to rate this? Sorry.
Joel, can
How do you,
we, Joel,
You just read the title of the contract and that it be approved.
the consideration portion?
Yeah.
Okay, so move that our consideration for item number 5, which is 23-482, consideration of approval of entering into a contract with M.R. Tanner Construction for the retrofit of 38 sidewalk ramps along Broadway Avenue. The work would be through the City of Buckeye Cooperative Contract number 202-0003.05 in the amount of $128,792.64 plus 10% contingency for unforeseen change orders in the amount of $12,879.26 for a total project cost not to exceed $141,671.90. Work is planned during October 2023 through January 2024, and I recommend approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call.
Councilmember Cross?
Yes.
Councilmember Heck?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Schroeder?
Before I vote, I want to commend Councilmember Cross. He had some questions. He didn't want it to be let go, and he asked his questions. Yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Nesser?
Yes.
Councilmember Soller?
Yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Motion passes, Your Honor.
Okay, since we have no other new business, nothing for council direction to staff. Now's the time for the call to the public, and I have 3 here. So I would like to remind everyone the call to the public is a courtesy and not required by law. It's a time for the public to express requests, communications, comments, and suggestions. Request to speak form must be completed and handed to the city clerk before the end of the city manager's report. All issues will be presented in a professional manner without personal attacks. Under the open meeting law, council cannot engage in discussions on issues presented, but may respond to criticism, may direct staff to follow up with the speaker directly, and/or place matter on future agenda for a council discussion. Please state your name and address. You will have 3 minutes with a 1-minute warning. Gail Evans, first one.
Gail Evans, 913 South Del Rio Court, AJ. I'm here as Vice President of Apache Junction Community Development Corporation in hopes that nobody forgets this wonderful yellow T-shirt that everybody can wear on Make a Difference Day, October 7th. This is something that we have something for every level of physicality possible. It's not hard work, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of your neighbors and help a bunch of neighbors out. We were fortunate, I want to say, to just receive a $4,000 grant from Pinal County. All of that, which tremendously helps with our dump fees. I recently learned that we have removed more than 94 ton of garbage, for lack of a better word, from the city, or the same as one blue whale, or 3 sperm whales, however you want to. I always need something visual to tell me how much 94 ton is, but I just wanted to keep everybody thinking about Make a Difference Day, a fun day, and I do have more clothes that I wear besides this shirt. So, thank you.
Thank you. Donna Carr.
Donna Carr, Apache Junction resident. I know you guys had a meeting earlier about water. You're talking about reclaimed water. I know people that work in the water industry, and one of the things that you cannot take out of the water is hormones. So if you want to talk with a high-pitched voice and grow some boobs, that's up to you. But the fact of the matter is, hormones cannot be taken out of reclaimed water. You might want to check into it a little bit more from maybe somebody that is a specialist in the area before choosing to run it out of somebody's tap. The other thing is, and I brought this up a while back, and that is that over on Meridian and Guadalupe, there's a metal factory there. And there's aerial views that show cancer-causing agents for that specific area. Now, it's considered to be a county island, but between that cancer-causing agent place and the dump, which I've lived here for a long time, and it wasn't until about 15 to 18 years ago that they started lining the dump. So anything that has already absorbed into the ground is already there. One of the things that I wanted to bring up is, when was the last time that the PFAS was checked into on our water? Because that is called a forever chemical. And people with wells, it's a problem. And I know that the Gateway Airport, their whole area has a problem with that because of the military base that was originally there. So if you could check into that as well, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Andre Meek?
Getting there, getting close.
Andre.
Andre, not Andrew.
Andre.
It's getting closer, Andre.
Andre,
Hey, Andre,
1327
you need to
South Bel Air. And you know,
phonetically spell it for you, then you'll get it.
good evening, Council, Mayor. City of Tempe just popped up bragging about that they've reduced homelessness by 30%. So we got some work to do. And, you know, it gives us a good goal to work for. Keeps us not forgetting because, you know, the neighbors are, you know, being the neighbors. And so something we need to work towards. And it's funny, the previous speaker talking about, you know, comparing the garbage to whales, the size of whales, and it just brought back a flashback. I used to live in Oregon, and one thing Oregon did one time, they had a dead whale on the beach, and so they got the bright idea of let's blow it up to get rid of it. And you can imagine that they blew 30, 40 tons of dead, rotting meat all over the place. And so it's just a little story there. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to point out that, yeah, you know, keep the homeless in mind. We got a lot of work to do. Thank you.
All right. Council have any follow-up to?
I have one. I saw that video about that whale being blown up.
Yes.
I would caution you on numbers, stats, like Tempe. It's really tricky because you can make numbers look any way you want. Yeah, exactly.
And where did they come?
Where'd they go?
Yep.
Here. Your Honor,
Yes.
I would ask that maybe we could have Mike give us an update report on contaminants that are in our well systems.
Yep. And also from the landfill.
Yeah, so Mayor, you recall that as that process, you required us to come back every year to
Yeah.
do water monitoring.
we
So we
due
can
for that
report in
update?
on that, yeah.
Well,
But we do that already anyway.
Yeah.
did they look into the hormone thing? That's interesting.
So the wastewater and the water district do work with trying to figure out forever chemicals and PFAS. That's a major thing going on in the country, trying to figure that out with the wastewater mostly. We could have Darren at some point come in and check that, but they do check it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Adjourn our meeting. Thank you.